August 22, 2018, 10 p.m. An explosion ripped through the quiet town of Ephraim, Utah. Neighbors scrambled outside, watching flames light up the night sky. At the center of the inferno stood Robby Layton's auto body shop, a place where dreams were built and impossible rescues happened daily. In just 6 hours, everything he'd worked for would be reduced to ash. 9 customer cars trapped inside, years of equipment gone, a thriving business erased. But here's what nobody expected. This wasn't the end of Robby Layton's story. It was just the beginning of something far bigger. The crew was working late that Wednesday night, nothing unusual for Robby's team. They were prepping a demo derby car for the upcoming San Pete County Fair, the kind of project that kept the shop buzzing with excitement. Around 10 p.m., everything was running smooth until the truck they were working on suddenly backfired. The engine caught fire instantly. One of the employees rushed toward the fire extinguisher, knowing every second counted. But in the chaos, he tripped over a gas can sitting on the floor. The can tipped. Fuel spilled. The flames found it immediately. What started as a contained engine fire exploded into something catastrophic. The blaze spread faster than anyone could react, consuming everything in its path. Neighbors heard the explosion echo through the valley and called 911. The Ephraim Volunteer Fire Department arrived within minutes, but they were facing a monster. Inside that building sat 9 customer vehicles, years' worth of tools and equipment, and Robby's entire livelihood. Firefighters battled the inferno for 6 straight hours, working through the night until 4 a.m. Thursday morning. By the time they finally controlled it, there was nothing left to save. The shop was declared a total loss. Every piece of equipment, every tool, every project, gone. 2 neighboring businesses, Diamond S and Ephraim Tire Pros, suffered smoke and water damage from the fight to contain the blaze. Miraculously, nobody was hurt physically, but the damage to Robby's dreams, that was complete. When the sun rose Thursday morning, Robby stood in front of what used to be his shop, smoke still rising from the charred remains. The smell of burnt rubber, melted metal, and destroyed dreams hung thick in the air. This wasn't just a building, it was years of sacrifice, late nights, and countless hours of building something from nothing. The worst part wasn't even his own loss. 9 customers had trusted him with their vehicles. Now those cars were nothing but twisted metal and ash. He'd have to face each one of them and explain how a single moment changed everything. The phone calls started coming in within hours. Some people were understanding, others, not so much. His team gathered at the site, staring at the destruction in silence. These weren't just employees, they were family. The shop had been their second home, and now it existed only in memory. Insurance would cover some of it, sure, but you can't insure the emotional investment. You can't file a claim for shattered confidence. Robby had a choice to make, and he had to make it fast. Walk away and start something completely different? Take the insurance money and rebuild somewhere else? Or do the unthinkable, rebuild right there in Ephraim, in the same town where everyone had just watched his business burn to the ground? The easy choice would have been to quit, take the loss, and move on. But Robby Layton never did things the easy way. Something inside him refused to let the fire win. While most people would have taken the insurance payout and disappeared, Robby made a different call. He was going to rebuild. Not just rebuild, he was going to come back bigger, better, and stronger than before. The town of Ephraim thought they'd seen the end of Layton Auto Body. They had no idea what was coming. Robby started documenting everything on his YouTube channel. At the time, his channel was growing, but hadn't exploded yet. Viewers watched as he cleared the debris, planned the new facility, and slowly brought his vision back to life. The transparency was raw and real. No corporate polish, no fake optimism, just a guy refusing to stay down after getting knocked flat. The community started rallying behind him in ways he never expected. Other shop owners offered tools and workspace. Local businesses donated materials. People who'd never even used his services showed up wanting to help. The fire that destroyed his business had accidentally revealed something powerful. Robby had built more than just a shop. He'd built respect. Construction began on the new facility at 758 South 50 East in Ephraim. This wasn't going to be some quick rebuild with the bare minimum. Robby envisioned a state-of-the-art operation that would put the original shop to shame. Better lifts, better equipment, better everything. The setback became fuel for something greater, and as the walls went up and the new shop took shape, something else was happening that Robby hadn't fully anticipated. His YouTube channel was about to take off. The new Layton Auto Body opened its doors looking nothing like the old place. This facility screamed professional from every angle. State-of-the-art equipment lined the walls. 3 massive Challenger lifts dominated the workspace, the kind of setup most shops could only dream about. The paint booth was immaculate. The fabrication area looked like something out of a high-end custom shop, but the real transformation wasn't just physical. Robby's YouTube presence exploded. Videos of crazy vehicle rescues, wild off-road builds, and impossible restoration projects started racking up serious views. His subscriber count climbed from thousands to hundreds of thousands. People weren't just watching for the cars, they were watching for Robby's personality, his team's chemistry, and the insane projects they'd take on without hesitation. The channel's growth meant more than just internet fame. Sponsorships started rolling in. Companies like Dent Fix featured his shop in their promotional materials. Bolts and Nuts created a custom hardware system specifically for his operation, over 35,000 pieces with QR code labels for easy reordering. They even featured him on their website as a showcase customer. Revenue from YouTube helped fund even better equipment. The merchandise line, Robby Layton Nation, launched, selling everything from hoodies to shop gear. Fans could literally wear the brand, while Robby used that income to make the shop even more capable. What started as a side project to document the rebuild had become a legitimate business empire. The fire hadn't just failed to stop him, it had accidentally launched him into an entirely different stratosphere. February 2022. The Sandpate Pantry's mobile food truck broke down between Manti and Gunnison after helping 30 families. The transmission was shot. The sheriff impounded it, and it got towed to Layton Auto Body. When Robby looked at the repair estimate, impound fees, towing, storage, transmission rebuild, labor, it came to about $2,500. Money the food pantry absolutely didn't have. Robby made a decision that showed what the rebuild had really been about. He marked the entire bill no charge. Every service, every hour of labor, completely free. His team removed the transmission, had it completely rebuilt, reinstalled it, and got that food truck back on the road without accepting a single dollar. But he didn't stop there. On February 23rd, when Robby and his team delivered the repaired truck back to the Sandpate Pantry, they came with more than just keys. He'd taken up a collection among his employees. They donated $451.69 of their own money. Then Robby and his family personally handed over $4,000 in cash. That money would feed 556 kids dealing with food insecurity. His team even stayed to help pack kid packs at the pantry, getting their hands dirty for the community that had supported them through the darkest time. The whole project was documented in a YouTube video that went viral, showing a side of the automotive world people rarely see. This wasn't about publicity. Robby had done charity work before the cameras ever showed up. The fire had taught him something about community that success never could. By 2023, the numbers told an incredible story. Robby's YouTube channel had blown past 440,000 subscribers with over 95 million total views. His videos weren't just getting clicks, they were building a legitimate fan base. Vehicle rescues, full restorations, demolition derby builds, off-road fabrication projects, the content was diverse, authentic, and wildly entertaining. The Robby Layton Nation brand expanded beyond just merchandise. His official website became a hub for gear designed for people who lived the automotive lifestyle. Hats, shirts, hoodies, patches, decals, all built around the culture he'd created. Limited edition drops would sell out within hours. The Essentials bundle became a must-have for hardcore fans. Financial estimates put Robby's net worth somewhere between $536,000 and $751,000, factoring in the shop, YouTube revenue, merchandise sales, and sponsorships. Not bad for someone who'd lost everything just a few years earlier. Major automotive brands wanted to collaborate. Other YouTubers like Fab Rats and Bleepin' Jeep featured him in their videos. He'd become a legitimate influencer in the automotive world. But Robby never let the success change the core mission. The shop still took on the crazy projects nobody else would touch. Rescuing vehicles from impossible situations, rebuilding totaled trucks, turning customer nightmares into dream machines. The team he'd built was tight, the kind of crew that genuinely enjoyed coming to work. Recent podcast appearances on shows like Between Two Wrenches revealed the emotional journey behind the success, the fears, the doubts, the moments when quitting seemed easier than pushing forward. In recent interviews, Robby opened up about what that fire really did to him mentally. Standing in front of the burning building, watching years of work disappear into smoke, it wasn't just about losing equipment or money. It was about identity. Who was he if not the guy running Layton Auto Body? What did his life mean if it could all vanish in 6 hours? The rebuilding process forced him to confront questions most people never face. Every decision felt heavier. Every dollar spent on the new facility was a bet that he wouldn't fail again. The pressure was crushing, customers watching, community watching, family depending on him. One wrong move and the fire would win retroactively. But something shifted during the rebuild. Robby realized the shop had never been about the building. It was about the work, the team, the community connections, the impossible projects that nobody else would attempt. The fire had destroyed the physical structure, but couldn't touch any of that. The real Layton Auto Body existed in the way his team approached problems, the relationships with customers, the reputation built through years of quality work. His YouTube success wasn't accidental. Viewers connected with the authenticity, the willingness to show failures alongside victories, the humor in tough situations, the genuine passion for automotive work. Robby built his content the same way he built his shop. No shortcuts, no fake drama, just real work and real results. The emotional scars from that August night remained, but they'd transformed into something else. Fuel. That August night in 2018 was supposed to be the end. A catastrophic fire, total loss, dreams reduced to ash and twisted metal. Most people would have seen it as a sign to quit, to take the insurance money and find something safer, something that couldn't burn down in 6 hours. Robby Layton saw something different. The fire destroyed a building, but it accidentally forged something unbreakable. It revealed who Robby really was when everything got stripped away. It showed a community willing to rally behind someone they believed in. It created a story that would resonate with millions of people watching his YouTube channel. That single night of destruction became the origin story for an empire. Today, Layton Auto Body stands as a state-of-the-art facility handling projects that would make most shops nervous. The YouTube channel keeps growing, the merchandise line keeps expanding, and the reputation keeps building. But more important than any of that, Robby proved something that night and in every day since. You don't measure someone by how they handle success. You measure them by what they do when everything falls apart. The ashes of that fire didn't bury Robby Layton's dreams. They became the foundation for something far bigger than the original shop ever could have been. Sometimes the worst thing that can happen to you is actually the best thing in disguise. You just have to be tough enough to find out. And Robby, he's still building.